Hey everyone, welcome back to High Tea Hoops. This is Brian Bosche at the Duke of Hoops. And today we have a very special guest. It's early. Guest from the 2K world. We have SamThaRuler. What's up, Sam? Thanks for joining the podcast.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, this is exciting. We've brought on British basketball players. We've brought on former NBA players. Our first esports player, 2K player, professional. And this is going to be exciting. So let's get into it a little bit to start with. Do you just want to give a little background on yourself? How'd you become an NBA fan? Why are you a Miami Heat fan? Would just love to hear about your basketball background in general.
Okay, that's awesome. Really, thank you. I got introduced to basketball, funny enough, by the game called NBA Street Volume 2.
Oh, yes, Sam.
Yeah. So which was
It's,
like '03, I think, '04. I
yeah,
remember.
God, that was my game. I love
Yeah,
that so much.
that's probably the best basketball I've ever played
The
today, to be fair.
soundtrack.
Yeah,
Oh,
especially the
so
soundtrack.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Troy, that's the soundtrack. I think they reminisce over you.
Yes, I
Yeah.
still love that. And I think they had. We lived in Seattle.
Yeah.
Green Lake is one of the courts in
Yeah. Yeah.
NBA
Yeah.
Street,
Yeah.
and so I play at Green Lake every summer and just play reminisce over you over and
Yeah.
over again, just trying to
Yeah.
think that I'm in NBA Street. I love that
Awesome.
callback.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, so around that time was when I got introduced to basketball through that game.
Hmm.
And one of my favorite players to use in that game was Shaq. And at that time, I believe at the time I got to play it, I think which was like '05, I think, I can't remember. But yeah, it was Shaq. Shaq was my favorite player. So I suddenly became a Heat fan. I saw the introduction with him and Wade on the stage. And I was like, yeah, this is probably gonna be my favorite team because with basketball, you literally get introduced to basketball through a player most
Hmm.
often than not. So that was my favorite player then, and progressively, I've been a diehard Heat fan over the years.
You got
But
very lucky picking that team with their future. You came in hot with Dwayne Wade and with Alonzo Mourning getting that title. I think they had Gary Payton too when they
yeah,
beat the
Gary Payton, yeah,
Mavs.
'06, yeah.
Oh, such a fun team. I was rooting for them. And then you get LeBron, and now you have a whole new era now of
So I've been
success.
spoiled. In my era, I've been spoiled technically, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's
Do you
amazing.
think, do a lot of people in the UK get into the NBA through 2K, through video games? Have you seen that?
Yeah, most definitely. I think if I'm being honest, in the UK, I think most people played and watch. So most
Yeah.
people play a lot of 2K than actually watch the NBA because you ask them about the NBA knowledge and it's almost non-existent. But they know the players in the game. They will like, play with this
Yeah.
person in my career. You get drafted and you join a team and you know this player on the team what he can and can't do. So the knowledge is based off 2K, which is amazing. But yeah, most of them are mostly introduced to basketball via the game, which is
Yeah. It's such a good way because I mean the time zones are a nightmare.
yeah,
We both know Mo Moonsey, who was up at 3 a.m. every single
yeah,
day during the NBA playoffs covering
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I used to be in his. I was in his Twitch chat quite a lot when he was doing a watch party.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
the timeout breaks, I'll be in there, just especially when the Heat were playing the Celtics. Funny enough,
Yeah.
I'll be in here talking my stuff. So I'll be in there
To Mo, a well-known
kind
Celtics
of
fan.
winding him up. Yeah, so I was in there a lot when the Heat played at the
Yeah.
Celtics.
Yeah, it's such a good way to get into the game too because you learn the stats, you learn the players, you learn the team movements.
Mhm.
It's such a good intro, and you see like fantasy sports does that a lot as well,
Yeah,
where you
yeah,
start to just memorize all the stats, all the best players.
yeah.
But with 2K, with my league, and doing your own career, and I love that they introduced the WNBA too, just to get a little bit more exposure
Amazing.
to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
amazing. I'm gonna say I have no idea of WNBA in general, but I think that's see how the gaming works. That's a good introduction to it.
definitely.
So and people become analysts, which is funny through 2K.
Yeah,
JaVale McGee is trash because he can't do this, he can't do that.
in 2K, yeah, not even on the court.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's really funny. So how did you get into playing 2K at the level you're at now? When did that
Uh,
really start?
yeah, I started playing 2K. I was a live fan to be fair.
Yep.
But live '08 was one of the games where they introduced the loading screen where you play on the courts before the
Yeah, yeah,
game
yeah. Man,
starts.
these are throwbacks. I love it.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I was from then. So I got 2K11 from a friend. I didn't know anything about 2K by the way. I didn't know because over in the UK was always EA everything.
Yep.
So never. I was like 2K. Probably 2K is like the PES of football. So we
Hmm.
have Pro Evolution Soccer and FIFA, which PES is like an off-brand version. Really.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm going to use 2K11. Great, one of the greatest games I've ever played to date.
Yeah.
Played the Michael Jordan story mode and just go hooked from there as well. Really, it had a Michael Jordan mode, which you played as Michael Jordan, so you played his story basically, and you got to unlock his shoes over the course of the game, which got me to know a bit more about Michael Jordan as well, because obviously I didn't get to watch him, was in my era as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I got hooked, and then I got 2K11 late, and I got 2K13,
Mm-hmm.
and through the next gen, I was able to progress and keep playing over and over, and was able to improve my skills to be able to then play the ESL championships. Really.
Yeah, I mean, before we get to the championship, which was incredible earlier this year, was there a community that you could kind of join when you first started playing in the UK, either 2K or NBA? How did you find it kind of getting into the game and getting to know other players in the UK?
Okay, so I'm not to toot my own home, but I think I'm an OG in
Okay,
the
I love it.
UK scene. I didn't know anything about EU community till 2K 15, I believe,
Hmm.
because on the servers on 2K14 and previous, get to play against Americans as well. So
Yeah,
it wasn't a European region or US, it was just everyone together. So I played on quite a lot with Americans, met quite a few Americans through 2K as well, and was able to go on 15. And uh, that's when they separated the servers. So you had EU server, and there's barely anyone there because everyone's too used to playing with US guys.
yep,
So you my US friends, and then later down the line, I was able to find a couple European players, which were quite decent at the level they played. So I was able to play with them, and and the community got bigger, especially at 2K16 when they released the game for free in the
yep.
summer. So a lot of Europeans came over, and also with the boredom of playing FIFA, because FIFA got repetitive at some point, and then
Yep.
people transferred over to a new game, and it's 2K, and that's how most people got introduced to 2K.
So when you're playing on the servers with the Americans, was there lag? Would people blow by you because the connection was worse than in the States?
To be fair, I knew nothing about lag at all.
Yeah,
So
like the ping rates, everything. It was just so early on.
it was so normal to me. So it was like people would be like, I'm delayed, and I never knew what that meant.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I've been playing like this for a while. So
Yeah, you go into the EU servers and you're like, holy shit, like I'm so fast and why am I so much better now?
Exactly, yeah, exactly. So it's yeah. So um yeah, playing with US guys is funny really, because they're very bushes. So I
Mm-hmm.
came in talking to them with my accent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So which is funny. So we're like, don't let this British guy do you like that. So you came
Yeah,
with
go
like,
play FIFA. Go over
yeah,
to play
exactly.
FIFA. Yeah.
It might think you're not good because you're not American.
Yeah.
So it was like I play with US guys. It was fun. We just trash talk.
Yeah.
Amazing. So
Yeah,
just
that is the best part of FIFA and
that's
2K.
the best. Yeah, that's the best part of the community. Really, the trash talk of the US community anyway. But yeah, um, then I was able to get more into the EU scene from 2K17 onwards.
Yeah. So OG of the EU 2K
Yeah,
community. Love to hear it. NBA, man, we needed to pull some clips from NBA Street Volume 2. I mean,
yeah,
that you just like unlocked memories in my brain that I didn't know I had,
yeah.
going back to those. But you've been playing for a while now. What do you think of, favorite players now? You mentioned Shaq. Who's your go-to? Are you just all Heat now? Who are your favorite current players in 2K?
Current players on 2K or just the NBA in general.
I mean, both, I guess. Let's
Oh,
start with
okay.
NBA. Let's start with NBA. Who are your favorite players right now in the NBA?
My favorite player right now in the NBA is wow. I'll probably say
Or
Bam.
Bam, nice. Did you see his big contract he just got? I think he got what, 250
He
million or
deserves it.
something?
He deserves 163, and then obviously the incentives of being MVP or NBA that rises to
Yep.
100. But yeah,
Totally deserves it.
yeah, I'm a big fan of obviously my roots in Nigeria,
Hmm.
so I'm a big fan of Nigerian basketball players technically. So Giannis, his roots is Nigerian, even
Yep.
though he's Greek, and yeah, so I'll probably say Bam is my favorite player right now, just of that. But my favorite player over the decade would probably be LeBron in the Heat,
Hmm.
obviously.
Yep.
Don't like what he did to us this summer though, but I mean this winter, I guess.
Yeah.
it's still
That was tough.
one of my favorite players to watch, really.
So you're in Mo Moonsey's Twitch chat. Bam is blocking Tatum for a
Oh
game-winning
yeah,
dunk, and did you just lose it?
yes,
I can't-
that was quick because actually I think I was in his chat when that happened.
yeah.
So I got to see his reaction before I saw what happened. So I was like, because I was so nervous because at the end of the game, it's like we're up. I think we're
Yeah.
up one. I think if I
Yeah.
remember, we're up one. Tatum gets a line drive and then blocks it, and then
Man,
go
there's
crazy.
not enough emotes to express that emotion. You needed to jump on the stream
Wow,
itself.
I almost threw my laptop off my desk. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's probably the highlight of the season. One of the highlights of the season, anyway. Incredible.
Definitely. So what do you think of them getting to the finals? What do you think of the playoffs in general?
I did. What's funny is I did think we were gonna make the finals,
Mm-hmm.
because I always get called disillusional. I guess
Yeah.
that's what, as a Heat fan, when I said, okay, I think this season we have an actual chance of making the finals. I actually study my team compared to other fans, and I know what we can and can't do. So I actually thought, and the bubble, we're kind of like a bubble team as well in terms of the culture of the Heat.
They
So we're
love
just
that
doing
bubble.
stuff like this. Exactly, we're built for this. I just knew after the bubble, yeah, we're making the finals. It's like, and first series sweep, I expected that.
Yep.
Nervous
Strong.
against the Bucks, but after the first game, I knew we were gonna win the series. And
They just fit so well. When they took down the
exactly.
Bucks like that, it was just like this team is built well. They're coached well. They have the leadership in the locker room. They were so after they beat the Bucks, it's like, all right, they're going to storm through the bubble.
Yeah, exactly. So and then Celtics, I just thought, okay, mind you, we played zone, which is crazy. We played zone against the Bucks in regular season, which worked great, and we never did it in the playoffs against them. So it was like, it's crazy how we even beat them without even playing the zone. So I guess it was a coaching tactic, which is crazy. So Budenholzer got out coached in that aspect.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
And then going to the Celtics series, we then play zone against a Celtics team. So which is, I can't be a coach because that's just chess right there.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we were able to not steamroll, but beat them 4-2 and then to the finals. So.
Yeah, they were, Skylar and I. Skylar went to Michigan with Duncan, so saw Duncan around campus, and so has been a big Heat fan since he joined the team and has been doing so well. Okay. So we were rooting for the Heat the whole time. I'm so glad they pulled more games off the Lakers in the finals, because a sweep or a 4-1 would have, especially with Dragic going down, because he was such a big part of that team. Yeah. I'm glad they challenged them. I wish they could have been fully healthy that whole finals.
Yeah, most definitely. It was heartbreaking, man. The first game, we lose 2 of our best players. Man.
And Bam not even being healthy.
Yep. Bam was our leading scorer up until that point in the playoffs. And then we lose him, and then we lose Dragic off a freak accident, and it's wild.
Tough.
Wild scenes.
So they made some off-season moves. I'm trying to look up. There's been so many. What have you thought of their off-season so far? I'm trying to pull up our.
To grade our off-season, I'll probably say A. Really, with the moves made, I'll probably give it A+ because of the Bam signing. And
getting Bam back was huge.
Bam back, exactly. We got Mo Harkless, Avery Bradley.
The Avery Bradley one was big, pulling off that strong wing player.
Big, especially defensively, and now our guards get all over the place now. Mo Harkless, Avery Bradley.
Myers Leonard, you re-signed. Dragic, you re-signed. That's the thing too. Like, they are treating the players so well. They re-signed Haslam. So that UD they brought back, and they're just treating the players right. Like, players want to go there because they treat them well.
Most definitely. So we didn't want to let the 2016 D Wade situation happen ever again, I guess. So it was like, show up everyone. The Myers Leonard one was funny to me though, because that's crazy. Right?
Yeah.
19,
he must have been hurt or something. It was a lot.
That's for someone that's only clapping throughout the playoffs. All right.
Hopefully he'll come back. Hopefully another year, because this was the first year they were really all together, and they were so young. Yeah. So another year of development, bringing in Avery Bradley, bringing in Mo Harkless. I think they're going to be really good again next year in the East.
Yeah. And I think that was a tactic from Riley as well, because now if you want to get Giannis in the offseason, I think he had in the back of his head, Bam is definitely going to ask for the rookie max or the max deal, and he has to obviously take that into consideration. So give Myers Leonard, Dragic money like that. I didn't expect Dragic to get that kind of money as well, and then obviously get them paid, and then do a signing trade
Yep.
in the free agency for someone like Giannis, and who knows.
They're so smart. It makes such a big difference when the front office is that good and your coach is that good, because they're prepping for Giannis. They know their free agency destination. They showed they can get to the finals with a team they just threw together last year.
Exactly. How many players want to come play for us just off that?
Yeah.
Just no one wanted to play with Jimmy Butler apparently, and now everyone wants to come play with Jimmy Butler. So
exactly. And a little dig at Mo and the Celtics. When you cut Isaiah Thomas like that, when you don't treat players like the Heat do, you get penalized for it. People leave. People might not want to go there.
Exactly. And then Gordon Hayward's out of there. So Gordon Hayward got paid, but that's another story for another day. But
that was a lot of guaranteed money.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get back to 2K. So what is a day like? Like when I practice basketball, I can get like an hour in, and then at my age, I'm just completely exhausted. So for a 2K player, what is your training schedule like? How do you practice? Give me some sense, and the audience some sense of what it's like actually being a player at your level.
All right. So I'm the type of person from let's say from 2K16, I played every game mode. So I played from my career to my team to play now, even to my league. Even this is the most enjoyable 2K of all time. It's the best one. Like most players will tell you that 2K16 is the best 2K. So that's how I guess I'd say I honed my skills properly. So I was able to play multiple positions as well. So learn how to play different positions by running 5v5 as well. And I was very consistent. I was a consistent player. To be fair, I was playing quite a lot. I don't know how many hours I could say I spent, but I was playing quite a lot over the years. And then 2K20, 2020, I say pandemic. It's now a lockdown, so even more time spent. So I was able to play more tournaments. Obviously, I qualified in late 2019 for the ESL.
Yep.
But I'd say I played more during these during these lockdown times, and I was able to get even ahead of competition that way as well. So playing more frequently, more regularly.
Yeah. And what's it like? How much do you stream? How much content do you create? Are you mostly focused on practicing? What's kind of your mix there, and how do you think about that?
All right. So I used to make videos on 2K17.
Yeah.
I taught myself how to edit, do all that. But the way I made videos, it took me a long time to edit and to do all that. So took a break away from that. Took a huge break away from that. 3 years now, but because I had work and stuff like that, so I didn't have that much time to commit to it. But yeah, I started streaming properly as soon as the pandemic hit. So I was like 100 followers, and then now I'm like just over 1,000.
You're over 1,000 now.
Yeah,
and you're doing more consistently. It's great to see.
Which is good for me, I guess. And then I was able to, I say, whenever I play, I stream. Whenever I play competitively, I stream. I don't only stream anything, so I only stream competitive matches. If I have a pickups or tournaments, I stream, and I'm able to garner more viewers doing that. Really, so and obviously the success I've had in tournaments with my team that I play with, I was able to garner more viewership and followers from that as well.
Yeah, so let's go into. So you play for S2V Esports, is that right? Did I pronounce that right? They're Spanish.
Yeah, Spanish esports team. Yeah.
So what is it like being on that team?
Right. So
these are cropping up a lot.
Yeah. So we literally just signed a contract with S2V, my team. Especially for me, I played with a team called Fist on 2K20, which is a Turkish team. Well, it's me and another player that's with me at S2V now, Welsh Jordy. We're on the same team on Fist, and we're able to win like 4 tournaments out of 6, if I'm not mistaken, or 3 tournaments out of 6. It's amazing, really. So, and then we went back to the team I was originally with previous 2K, which was Rise Above, which is this year, and we won the biggest tournament I'll say in EU so far, which was the Clash / Milwaukee Bucks gaming tournament. We won that, and people were able to see us play. So not just 2K League managers, but teams as well, teams interested in us. So that's how we're able to garner that much attention to sign a contract with S2V. So
That's great to hear.
so for PS5 onwards, we will be playing with for S2V Esports.
And what are some of the advantages of joining a team like STV or S2V? What do you get out of that type of a contract, and how does it help you kind of elevate your game?
All right, so it puts us in, obviously, in terms of content creation,
Mm-hmm.
gives a whole new fan base. So no whole new I won't say fan, but follower base, which is Spain. Have no connection in Spain on another opportunity for that as well, and also I guess it's just a sense of security as well. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
you get to represent an organization now, so it means more than just coming over with your friends and playing now. So it gives a sense of responsibility, I guess.
Yep.
And I'd say it's a high level esports organization as well. So you have to meet a certain criteria now. So the pressure's on to win tournaments now, to win even bigger tournaments than we actually play for normally in EU. So tournaments get bigger now, so there's more incentive and there's more focus towards it, really. So
it's been great to see, FaZe Clan, obviously, a lot of the different NBA teams themselves creating teams in the actual NBA 2K league, and it just provides a lot of the mentorship, support, following, gets you exposed and collaborate with the other creators and other players.
Exactly.
It's been fun, and it helps you go from I'm just a streamer individually to I'm part of something bigger. I'm part of a team, because I think esports is really growing quickly, and it's going to, like you said, 2K is probably more popular than the actual NBA, and they'll be following the 2K players more than the actual league itself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's also STV is also we got brought in by a big YouTuber in Spain called VTuber. So that's why the team is S2V Tuber. And so he recruited us, and then he was able to put us in pole position. And it also comes with huge incentives on signing contracts, not just monetary, but very lucrative, very what I'm saying. Very good deal, really. Yeah.
It's cool to see, and I worked for in Dan Gilbert's family of companies from the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Okay,
so I worked there right out of college, and esports was a huge focus, obviously, and the Cavs have one of the best teams, and they're one of the few NBA teams that actually introduced that. But it's so good to see the coverage and the drive for esports. It's so much more accessible, especially basketball, where you hit 25, 30, your knees start to go, your ankles start to go, and it helps to have kind of that love of the game, and you're able to play still, especially for me, where I feel like I'm playing and I feel like I'm participating, and you can play pickup with your friends without absolutely destroying your body and getting to play as LeBron James and these other players.
Exactly, most definitely. And also the partnership with Dan Gilbert and Nate Shot, I think, is the 100 Thieves partnership, which is crazy, right? This is a crazy investment. So you can see how esports is growing throughout the world, not just in America, but especially in Asia and China and Japan. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, you even have, Bomber buying the Clippers and building that new arena in Inglewood, which is built for esports tournaments as well. And, so they're actually building the stadium and the arena to be a little bit smaller, a little bit, more, you feel like you're on the court a little bit more with the players. They have the big screens so that you can actually host those esports tournaments. And, in Seattle, we have, the Dota 2 championships, which are huge, in Key Arena. It's the whole city is flooded, and it's one of the biggest tournaments in the world. It's incredible to see.
It is. It's crazy how, like, also your own, especially my bubble, which is the NBA bubble, there's like Dota is over like esports. Dota is huge. Like, I never realized how big. Like League of Legends, crazy. Like, crazy how much esports is growing, man. Who knows?
It's fun.
From now, what's gonna happen?
And it's good to see the NBA embracing it a lot more and seeing it as a way to build the community. So you're partnered with 2K UK. What is that like? Like, what from them? What's kind of the focus that you see? I see they just did an incredible project with their foundation with the Birmingham Rockets to refurbish the facility, to improve training courts, school and community programs. So they're not saying just in esports in the game. They're actually going into the community. So what have you seen from them of what's their focus? What's their mission? How do you see them contributing to that community?
See, I see them sharing the same goal as me, which is growing basketball in the UK.
Yep.
Because to me, basketball is more, it's, I would say it's more, there's more emotion involved than I won't say than football. I don't want to compare sports, but that's what how I feel anyway. There's more drama in basketball. There's more storylines in basketball, which is
Yeah.
unlike the Premier League. The season goes, it just it's all the football right now seems like a routine, or soccer as you called it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so more. But in basketball, there's so many storylines. Like Jimmy Butler, that against who was it? T.J. Warren.
Yeah.
That one game where they had a scuffle. Now he
Yeah.
goes on social media and goes and circles the next day for the matchup. So it's
Yep.
just stuff like that. It's just amazing. So there's so many storylines. How many rings will LeBron get? Will LeBron ever catch up to Michael Jordan? KD, can he win on his own now? It's just so many storylines. So it's just that to me is just amazing for me in watching basketball. So I just want people to enjoy that aspect as well, not just a routine of going throughout the season and just watching like football, watching transfers happen, cool, and then free agency every year. It's always something crazy.
Oh
happening.
my, it's amazing. It's almost more fun than the season.
Exactly. It's like, wow, James Harden wants to now wants to join the Nets. Like, imagine if that happened now. It's the whole it's just crazy. So that's what I think that as well in terms of them wanting to grow basketball in the UK is something I have a passion about. Mo too has a great passion about it.
Yep.
Kudos to him as well. And just growing the nature of basketball and the poetry of basketball as well. Going through, I remember I became such a basketball junkie. I went through different documentaries. Going back to I think it's a 1994 documentary. I forgot what it was called now. It was Hoop Dreams.
Hoop Dreams. Oh,
Hoop Dreams.
yes.
Just not just the storyline, but like how basketball is also life in terms of, you can illustrate life as well. So in terms of that and how it followed these just two hoopers throughout the journey and how basketball is for them. In some cases, life or death. So it's just things like that, man. And what they do right now in the I think it's the Birmingham facility.
Yeah, Birmingham Rockets. Yeah.
Birmingham Rockets. Yeah, great incentive. So get people into playing basketball, and more people play basketball, more people fall in love with it, watch it, and then grow the sport over here. Yeah. So,
yeah. I mean, you're right. Basketball has, over the last couple of decades has intertwined itself with the culture more than any other sport from what I've seen. The conversations that are started, all of the players having their personalities and their brands, and, even Jimmy Butler, even, everyone will know the 50th best NBA player in the world, the 100th best NBA player in the world. In tennis or golf or, in a lot of sports, like you just have no idea outside the top few. And just their personalities are brought out. And 2K is such a good way to introduce people to the game, get them, okay, I've been playing 2K. Oh, there's this new facility opening up. Let me go actually try to play myself. And then you get excited, you play at home. It's such a good just kind of flywheel model of bringing people interested in the game.
And because it's only 5v5, everyone on the court has a different skill set. So you get to watch Steph Curry. You get to watch Steph Curry, different game to LeBron. You get to watch LeBron, different game to KD, different game to Kawhi. It's different. It's all different.
There's so much variety.
Together, it's poetry. That's what I call it. Basketball is poetry, man.
Yeah, you have Hero versus Bam, who couldn't be more opposite players on the court.
Exactly.
And they're still both young players.
Same passion. Yeah, and still have the same passion and show off their passion in different, express the passions differently. So it's amazing.
It's really amazing.
I don't know how you can't love basketball. I just don't know how.
Is there interest? We've been covering the BBL a lot more this year and interviewing different players. And from what it sounds like when I talk to different people, there's a lot of people who are NBA fans or BBL fans. It doesn't seem like there's too much crossover. Yeah. Are you a fan of the BBL? Have you followed it, or is it kind of just NBA and it's kind of a little bit separate?
Yeah, I don't follow BBL at all. I don't even know too much teams, to be fair. But it's only NBA, and I stay up late nights just to watch the NBA as well. So I don't watch anything other than the NBA. I watch EuroLeague time to time if it's there. I watch it just to see a different version of basketball. But BBL isn't really kind of promoted there. So I mean, that's no go. maybe more
It's
people watch EBL than people watch the NBA. So.
Yeah, it's interesting where BBL is the local league. It's picked up a lot. Like this year, there's a lot of momentum. They signed, Byron Mullins, DeAndre Liggins. There's a lot of good teams
Yeah,
right
Ligon's
now.
good. Yeah, I
Liggins
love
is fun. I watched him at the Cavs in person when I lived in the Midwest, and
yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, he's going to play for the London Lions, and he's been tearing it up out there, which is super fun. Kevin Ware joining from Louisville, and then he's getting into like BBL Twitter spats with people and calling the Sharks trash, and it's starting the conversations more like you're talking about in the BBL, and I hope that helps crossover where okay, this game is at least in my time zone. I can go watch in person when the pandemic's over, whenever the lockdowns are restricted. So I think there can be more crossover. I'd love to see
Yeah, I love to
BBL
see.
teams built out in 2K too. That would be a
Yeah,
lot of fun.
yeah, that would be fun. Also, an exhibition over here, where maybe an NBA team can come over here and play a BBL team. Maybe that garners
Yeah.
more attention. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't. As of now, I don't really keep up with the BBL at all.
Yeah. It's interesting to see. It's kind of like Premier League fans in the US
Mm-hmm.
aren't fans of the MLS, the Major League Soccer.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
kind of our local league, it's very separate. You're like, all right, I'm a Tottenham fan. And it's like, okay, the Sounders are also here. Do I follow both? It seems completely different. So I can understand how it's different in the
yeah.
UK too.
I think it's more of a mental thing. So you've seen the highest peak of competition. Why
Yep.
watch another thing else? But
Yeah.
I
Well,
guess
it's kind of like college. Like college here is obviously not at the same level as the NBA, but people get so invested because of those storylines, because of the personalities.
yeah, exactly.
So if you know your local team and you like their personality, you follow their fits, you like their starting drama, I think that pulls you in no matter what the level is. And I think we're starting to see that happen a lot more.
Yeah, that's most definitely. Yeah.
All right, let's go back to ESL, NBA 2K20 Global Championships, European Finals.
Yeah.
You represented the UK. What was that tournament like?
All right,
That's where, yeah, go ahead.
I started the tournament. To be fair, I started the tournament like I didn't pay not much attention, but I didn't give my all to it at first. It was online. I heard about it, so I just wanted to play it.
Mm-hmm.
And I qualified the first round. I won all my games. It was eight. I think it was like 8 rounds. Won all 8 games, and then the next one was there's another round which you only had to use one team per round.
Yep.
Or one team per game, really. So you can only use one. If you play game 1, 2, and 3, they have to be all different teams and throughout the whole tournament. So the team you use in round 1, you can't use in round 2. And I ended up playing a player that plays for the Knicks now, Knicks Gaming, Harry Hazardhurst, Hazard the Chipper. I played him in the finals of the UK tournament, and I ended up being 2-0, best of 3, and that's how I was able to be the UK finalist for ESL Global Championship in Paris.
Yeah, that's amazing because it's the first. I think it was one of the first tournaments of its kind, from what I'm reading. Like the NBA partnered with the NBA Players Association with ESL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was one of the first big ones, right? This was like a first type of tournament.
Yeah, so it was the first one. Normally, 2K normally host these tournaments like 250K, my team 250K, my team tournament, or the 250K pro-am tournaments. But this one was hosted by the NBA itself, and the NBA Players Association. So it was so it was more from the NBA than from 2K. So.
And you were the only UK player, right, in that finals in Paris?
Yes, I was the only UK player because no UK player qualified from the wild card. Yeah, I was the only one.
Only one. So what was the experience like? Did you actually go to Paris to play?
Yeah, I went to Paris to play.
What was that like? What was the atmosphere like?
It was great, but getting there first was going to a hotel. Picked up from hotel, from the airport to the hotel. Met the other players that are going to be in the tournament itself. Recognized quite a few people that I know we play against, just not in pro but in my team as well. Met Danny Rifle and Mario, 2 Spaniards, and it was good fun. At the end of the day, it was fun, just the experience itself. So we're there for like 3-4 days, I believe.
Yeah.
And went sightseeing in Paris, doing the I think it was the Friday, and then the Saturday was when the tournament started. So yeah, so I got to meet Ronnie 2K.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, at when it started, and I met Dirk the caster there as well. So it was
Did
super
you
fun.
go to the Pagali court, the one that's like super colorful, like
Oh
in
no,
Paris?
no, I didn't. We didn't get to because we are far away from where the hotel was quite far away from Paris itself. So we are in
Oh,
Paris.
got it.
So it was a region quite. I think we during that Friday we spent about almost €100, if not more, of
Yeah,
just going to the Eiffel Tower and stuff like that. So it
yeah,
was,
yeah,
and because there were strikes during that time in Paris,
yeah.
yeah, that's why the fee of Uber rides were quite high. There's no strikes everywhere, so public transport and stuff like that.
Got it,
So,
man. At Paris, basketball environment is so fun too. You know,
right.
even just last time I went, I played pickup basketball under the Eiffel Tower. There's just always people playing
Yeah,
at every court. It's such a huge basketball community.
it's big.
That
It's
must have been
big.
a lot of fun.
It's fun. Basketball's quite big in Paris as well, very big. So it's like it's cool to see really how much
Absolutely.
people engage in basketball. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have one of the OG 2K players from the UK represent at the championships this year.
Yeah, yeah. So it was fun, I guess, but I lost in the first round, doing in the tournament because I had a tactic, a mindset of because you only had to use one team throughout the whole
Yeah.
one team each game, I say. So I had a tactic of using the lesser teams first before I went to juggernauts, but my opponents used the juggernauts off rip. So it's
Oh,
used
so
the Bucks and the Lakers. So it was kind of,
that's
and
tough.
still Giannis and LeBron. So it was like, yeah, I lost by
Yeah.
1 point both games. Crazy.
Damn. Yeah. Well, a learning experience for other tournaments for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
All right, let's go on to all of the faces on the covers of 2K21 I saw this weekend. So there was 2K Fest. You got your own cover art. For the audience who doesn't know what was going on, why is everyone getting their own custom 2K21 covers? What was 2K Fest? What was it like this weekend?
All right, so 2K UK hit us up asking for details about not just our size or picture and stuff. We didn't know what it was for. Obviously, we had a kind of an idea of what it was going to be for, but not as a cover or anything. So we got contacted and then able to submit it to Becky. Amazing at 2K UK. Shout out to Becky and Matt from 2K UK. Amazing group of people, and yeah, they were able to send us our own box, I guess, of just not a jersey of the game of our face in it, and just a lot of great stuff in that box, really. Yeah. And we were able to get obviously you saw us on the cover and stuff, yeah, which is amazing. I've never been, all the years of playing 2K and in game when you play my career, there's a I say endorsement being on the cover of 2K.
Yeah.
On the game itself, but obviously, and then now you're on the cover. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, who is on the cover and who they pick is always such a huge reveal. You know, Dame and Zion and Kobe this year. I can't even imagine what it's like to see yourself. And I love the Mo Moonsey arms on semi Ojale levels. I see you, King, on your incredible image on the cover. But that must have been amazing to see. I mean, you've been playing for what, almost 20 years now, different versions of NBA video games, and now you're on the cover.
It's crazy, man. Just wow. That's what I have to say. It was wow when I saw it. Really, so it's an amazing feeling.
Yeah, that's amazing to see. And then the 2K Fest, they had like a 24-hour stream, and they also introduced the Birmingham Rockets. So is that just kind of just trying to build awareness around 2K21 and get people excited about the game?
Yeah, it's just showing different aspects of the game, not just 2K21 and just 2K21 all over the world. So in France, in Spain, in the UK, or just what every UK department is working on. 2K department is working on all around the world, different interviews and stuff like that. So it was a great watch.
Absolutely.
It just showed pro-am scenes, which we mostly compete in, from Spain when Team Ducks played the French team. I think it was LDLC. It's amazing. It's amazing to watch.
That was really cool to see. All right, let's go on to some audience questions, some listener questions submitted through Twitter, which were pretty funny. We've got one from James Green, who just came on the pod this week, presenter at Sky Sports, journalist at Sky Sports and Talk Sport. He asks, how can I hit a three-pointer, and how can I make my player move his feet quicker than a double-decker bus? Any tips for James to get better at 2K?
Um, I think the mind players building on next gen. I think that's what he's talking about anyway. Um, I don't know. You have to increase it when you make your player. You have to factor those things. So when you make a player, speed is always important on 2K, on any 2K. Speed is always important. And to make threes more consistently, I suggest turning your shot mirror off. It gives you a boost when you turn your shot mirror off to able to time your shots, and you put vibration on to be able to feel when to release it. So that's a good. I say that's my advice for hitting more threes. And make sure you're open. You can't
Yeah.
shoot consistently and expect to make it.
That was a real answer, Sam. And James is a Lakers fan. And so I'm just going to say you're out of luck, James. You're just going to be terrible forever. Just watch the Lakers win championships and just be happy with that. You don't have to be good at 2K too.
Yeah.
All right. We got another one from Freds at XFreds with 3 Z's. Are you a dunker or are you a shooter?
On 2K?
I think that's all he had.
Yeah,
and you know Freds, right?
I know Fred because he's trying to be funny, but no, it's my game on 2K is in between, so it's dunking and shooting, so all round. So you don't have to see.
All right, Freds. There you go, all around player.
But in real life, I'm a rebounder. I don't play basketball like
that. Charles Barkley.
Yeah, I just rebound and pass to the nearest point guard. That's what I do.
Love it. All right, we've got Elliot Sargison. Sorry, Elliot, if I pronounce it, at Elliot Sargi. How do you improve on 2K? We've already talked about that a little bit. Here's another one from him. How to get more involved in the basketball scene in the UK, as I'm heavily starting to get invested in basketball, but there's so little exposure here. So what's your advice for Elliot to get more in the British basketball community?
I'd say going to different parks. I guess I don't know about, that's what I'll say about where you're moving to, because if we're talking East London, there's a place near Heathway, which is a Dagenham Heathway, which has a huge basketball community there. They go, it's played on pavement, but the level of competition there is quite good. It's very good.
Oh, great.
This place you see. So I'll say go to different parks and playing basketball there, and making friends. It's always a plus. And then check basketball communities around the area. There might be a couple tournaments, a couple showcases you can go in and just play and get involved in more of the British basketball and see the landscape out there.
Yeah.
And there's always playing 2K.
Are there online communities where people can access to kind of get more involved in people with people like you and other players?
Well, yes. So we have a Discord we have a Discord server where you can play with other individuals on 2K. You can ask them, I play this position. Do you want to get a 5 or you want to get a 3 to play pro-am? Some stuff like that.
Nice. I'll share the Discord server link out so people can join.
No worries. Yeah.
Last question, because someone said, "How do you spell talking?" Is that an inside joke? Resident Stevel 7.
Yeah. I guess when you tweeted it out, you said taken.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I think.
Do you know Resident Stevel commenting on my grammar? No.
I don't know who that is. No.
Okay. Well, thank you, Resident Stevel. Yes, there is no edit button on. And luckily 2K UK tweeted out my misspelling, so appreciate that. All right, real last question from Captain Crunch. How does it feel to play on PS5?
He's being funny again. I know who he is. I don't get my PS5 till late this weekend, I believe. But he's trying to be funny.
Yeah, he's teasing you.
Yes.
Got a bunch of trolls in the chat. Thanks everyone for your questions. Even if they are trolling, that's fine. But Sam, any plugs? Where can people find you? Where can they find you on Twitch, YouTube? Give yourself some shout outs here.
I appreciate it. Yeah, so SamThaRuler on Twitter, on YouTube, and Twitch. So it's SamThaRuler.
Great. Go follow Sam. I'll tweet out the links. Join the Discord. Get involved in the British basketball community. Sam, thanks so much for coming on. This was awesome.
Amazing. Appreciate you. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, absolutely.